I'm Nick Harcourt. This is Guitar Center Sessions. Please welcome our guest, Joe Walsh. I'm Nick Harcourt. Joe Walsh is our guest. Pleasure to meet you, man. Thanks for coming in and playing for us.
You too. My pleasure.
Do appreciate it.
I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh, that's very nice of you to say this. Thank you. There's so much we can talk about, but I think maybe if we start off by looking at some of your achievements, Grammys, hundreds of millions of albums sold, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, 20 records and more recorded. What inspires you to get up every day and keep doing it?
Well, I don't know what else I would do, you know. I've been through a lot. I've been through all of the stuff that comes along with getting successful, which takes the focus off of what you're doing.
Can you talk about that a little bit? I mean, you're bringing it up.
Well, sure. Money, royalty checks, success beyond my wildest dreams. This is gradual.
Sure.
over my body of work. Being in a huge band, navigating through that, ending up in pretty bad shape, alcoholic and dependent on all kinds of things.
I know that's something you do talk about a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to delve too deeply, but you're sober. You're sober today.
Yeah, 18 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Obviously, with money and with success.
Yeah, I mean, it happens to a lot of people, and a lot of people flame out, flame and burn, you know?
Well, the temptations are there, obviously, and you picked it up.
Yeah. Yeah,
How?
Yeah. I mean, I went. It was okay to do then through the 70s and late 60s and through the 80s, and I partied. And when the Eagles finally stopped in about 1979, I kept right on partying, and until 1994, and gradually I became a full-blown alcoholic and all of that. So for a while there, I forgot who I was and what I was doing. In 1994, I got sober. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I met Marjorie, who's my wife, and she was like a piece of me that was always missing before. And I finally learned how to write music and play in front of people and go in the studio sober. You could measure that in terms of years before I felt comfortable.
Can I ask you what your bottom was?
When I decided I needed help, I woke up out of a blackout, right? I came to out of a blackout, and I was descending to land in Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris.
So you've been unconscious on a plane, basically.
I don't know how I got on the plane or why I decided to go to Paris. Mm-hmm. I had my passport, but that scared me.
So it was fear, not really understanding why you had arrived.
I took it as far as I could go.
Right.
You know, I really did. I took it as far as I could go to see where it went. And it was screaming at me, "You're gonna die."
When did you first pick up the guitar?
Probably 1960, probably 1960. I started listening to music on the radio about 1953, and I was 6.
I was going to say, how old a man were you?
I
You were
was
6 years old.
But I was musical, and I knew that. I didn't play anything yet. But I grew up on rock and roll and country music, classic country music from 1953 to about when the Beatles came. Was my influences, all the doo-wop, all the old rock and roll, not so much blues.
Right.
I messed around with stuff. I played oboe in high school. I played clarinet for a while. I tried trombone. I messed around with piano, but I could never find anything that I could express the ideas in my head. And I needed to play something where I could sing, too. You can't sing and play clarinet.
That's tough.
I
that's
finally bumped into a ukulele, and when I was 12, I got a guitar from Sears Roebuck. It was a silver tone, mail order, $70 guitar.
Right.
And I was on top of the world.
When did you first get into a band?
The first time I played in front of people was in junior high school. Me and a trumpet player. And we were awful.
Just a guitar and a trumpet player?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were awful.
Isn't that called avant-garde or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. But I got in front of people. I played in front of people when I was 12.
And did you like it?
Oh, no, I was scared to death.
Right.
But the missing link for a lot of people now is they're trying to be a legend in their parents' garage. And they never play in front of anybody. And they rehearse forever. And these are complex days with the internet. But I got to play in front of people at an early age. And that is a huge part of being a successful musician, being comfortable doing that. And you have to suck it first.
How did the James Gang come about? How did you get involved with that band?
I was in a band in Kent, Ohio, playing the bars downtown. And the James Gang was in Cleveland. And their guitar player named Glenn Schwartz decided to go to LA and try and make it. He did to some extent, but they were an established band, and they called me to fill his shoes, and he was really good. So I got asked to join the James Gang and was in them for about a year and a half until we started clicking. It was a 5-piece band. It ended up a 3-piece band because 2 guys quit. I had to sing because I couldn't sing, but the other 2 guys couldn't sing.
They were worse.
Worse, yeah. And I was the only melodic instrument. So I had to learn what I call is lead rhythm. And Peter Townsend helped me with it. When you're the only melodic thing, you have to kind of play lead and rhythm at the same time. But I had to sing, and being the only melodic instrument, I had to do that. And that's where my style came from. If I didn't have to sing, I never would have. And I'm so grateful because I know how to do that. And a lot of stuff you don't do unless you have to.
talk about your sound. Obviously, the Joe Walsh sound is pretty well known. It's your signature sound. You talked about it developing out of necessity, I guess. Mm-hmm. Is that true? Mm-hmm. And when you had settled on that sound, was there a moment where you realized, okay, this is it?
No, not really. You just get an idea of combinations of things that really work good. And as you gain that knowledge, you have more tools to work with depending on the task. If you're playing live, who am I playing with? If you're recording, is it an overdub? Are you doing it live? What's the other guitar player using? What are we going for here? Whether you use single coil or double coil, what amp, what guitar. Over the years, you find out what works really good. And I'll tell you what works really good is a Fender Telecaster through a Fender Champ amp. That's Funk 49 right there. Everybody wants to know how I got that sound. It's a Telecaster plugged into a Champ amp, because a Champ has an 8-inch speaker. Nobody uses 8-inch speakers, but that's why it sounds like that.
Why? What is it about it, the 8-inch speaker?
It's got a response that a 10-inch speaker or a 12-inch speaker doesn't have. And it's that Funk 49 sound. And I happened across that, but that sound is, you know.
That's your sound?
Yeah. People hear that and they say, that's Walsh. And it's so simple. Some of it is so simple, and everybody's got these racks of outboard gear and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And you plug your guitar into your amp and you turn up your amp. There it is.
Are you aware of your influence on other guitarists and how that sound has, I don't want to say been copied, but has perhaps influenced other people to get up and play guitar?
I'm coming into that. That stuff I never thought of. I always had my heroes. You know, Back and Page and Clapton and all kinds of people. Leo Kottke, go down the list. James Burton, Albert Lee. I have my heroes, and I never thought about me. But I'm coming into that in my 60s. I have young people, guitar players, who say, I grew up with your music because my parents played it while I was growing up. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have this or that. So I'm in a place now where, yeah, I am somebody that people listen to and try and copy. And that's great. It's really a compliment. It's an assignment, and I'll take it on. If I can help anybody, I will. But I never thought I'd be in that position. The other thing is that a lot of young people, musicians and otherwise, decided to get sober because I did. So that's another thing. That's why I'm happy to talk about sobriety anytime. If I save one life, that's how I can pay it back. And it was so important for me when I met one of my heroes that they take the time to say hello or just recognize me, because it was a huge thing when I was meeting them. And I have to do that for kids. I can't be too busy. I can't, not now. I have to remember how important that was for me and how crushed I was when somebody flipped me off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a big deal.
It is. It's happened to me as well.
Yeah,
so I understand exactly what it's like.
So I have that assignment now, and I'll gladly do it if I can pay back the good fortune that I've had.
Pretty good.
when we talk about Joe Walsh, obviously there's your solo career, there's the James Gang, there's the Eagles. The Eagles have been discussed endlessly.
I know.
But what I would like to ask you is, what was the chemistry among you guys? Can you describe that? What made the Eagles the Eagles?
One of the things that's important is that when Don and Glenn and Randy and later Timothy B, when they sang together, it turned into something much bigger than any of them individually. It was a magic chemistry, a blend, and it's a beautiful thing. That doesn't happen in every band, but basically everybody's a lead singer in the band. That's strong. Everybody's an alpha male, so there's tension. There's tension and disagreements. Did we argue? Yeah, we argued a lot.
Was that always there? Was the tension there right from the beginning?
Yeah. Did we fight? Sometimes. But it was, it also was like a hormone to creativity. That energy, that dialogue, to get everybody to sign off on a song took a lot of work, you know? And bands get together, and for a while there's magic. There's a chemistry and there's a magic, and bands run their course, and then they kind of fade into history. But we can still do it. We've been through every trip a band can be through, and we really miss playing with each other when we don't, because it turns into something bigger than any of us individually.
That's a great place to be in. But I'm also wondering, if you look back on your career, if there's any defining moment, any moment that perhaps is elevated above anything else.
Yeah. I would say Hotel California, the album, having been in that band and having been a part of the making of Hotel California, we were at an incredibly creative phase. Everybody in LA, in Southern California, hadn't made it yet. And there was incredible energy and camaraderie. It was great. There was a community. Having been a part of all that and doing Hotel California, especially the song, none of us ever dreamed it would affect that many people on the planet. We just knew it was pretty good, and we knew it was done, but we were sick of it when it came out, you know. But it did affect that many people on the planet, and Hotel California is high in the best solo work in Rolling Stone and other magazines. To have been a part of that and to have affected that many people on the planet is special. That one stands out. And that song is still a bitch to play live.
Why so?
You just gotta pay attention. It's hard. You know, some songs are automatic and you go, okay, I'll play this one again. But that one, I really have to pay attention to play right. I can play it shitty, but I'd rather play it right. And that, you gotta, you know, wake up and do it. I think Don Felder and I worked brilliantly together on that. Don Felder brought the song in. I think Don Henley wrote amazing words to it. It still holds up today, you know, and that's the one for me.
Tell us about Analog Man. What's the significance of this album?
The message of Analog Man is that it's been 20 years since I did an album. The message is I'm really happily married to Marjorie. She's the half of me that was missing. That has allowed me to work at my craft better. I'm 20 years sober. I know how to do it all now, sober, write, sing, play, record. So I'm back, and I'm good to go, and it won't be 20 years till the next album. Analog Man, in that 20 years, technology changed, and it's digital now.
Significantly.
Yeah.
Significant
And the way you
changes.
make records
Yeah.
is different. Everything's different. Here's what I know. Digital technology, the digital age, it ate intellectual property. It ate record companies. It ate classic radio as we know it, you know? And I don't know what else it's going to eat. I don't know if we're working for it or if it works for us. I do know that we are all spending more and more time in a virtual world that doesn't exist. We're sitting in chairs and our bodies are waiting for our minds to come back. We're staring at a screen, all of us, you know? I don't know where that's gonna go. It's the beginning of the Matrix movies.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Obviously, we're both in the creative arts industry, and
Yeah, it's all gone.
we know a lot of people who are not working today.
Record stores are gone. Income from records is gone. So how can you pay to make a record? It's stuff that young musicians have to learn. I don't have any advice because I'm trying to learn it too. Here's another thing that digital technology has done. There's less and less people in a room, mic'd, press record, playing together. That's what we love about the old records. There's less and less of that. There's more of, starting with the drum machine, adding virtual instruments which don't exist, they're in the computer,
Sure.
stacking them up so that it's a record, but nobody played on it. That's what's happening more and more.
So how did you make this record?
One more thing. You can fix anything. You can make anything perfect. There's a great temptation to fix everything because you can.
Sure, you just go into the computer.
Perfect records don't sound good. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't need fixing. That's the magic of all the old records that we all love. And every time you fix something or make it perfect, you lose the mojo. It goes away. And that's what digital technology has done. It's changed the way records are made. And the human, spontaneous magic of a performance is fading into history. And that is not perfect.
So when you made this album, did you record in the way that you'd recorded 20 years ago? Did you cut it live?
As much as I could, yeah. And I hooked up with Jeff Lynne, which was brilliant. He's brilliant. He's an analog guy too. And we paid a lot of attention to analog. But what we paid attention to is think analog. Capture the performance of me playing guitar, and don't touch a thing. Don't make it perfect. Don't fix it all. Think analog and use digital technology to get the performance down is what we need to do. Because, boy, I listen to a lot of music and I don't get it.
What do you mean you don't get it?
Nobody played on it. there's 10 words and 5 producers and 7 writers. And nobody played on it. It's a computer.
If you look back at some of your songs, some of your hits, Life's Been Good, All Night Long, what do you think it is about those songs that resonates through generations of music lovers? Because it's not just the people you were playing them to 30 years ago who like those songs. People are still discovering them today. And I don't want you to sort of pick apart your songwriting process necessarily, but what do you think it is about songs like that that resonate?
In songwriting, there's some basic foundational things that are important. One of them is a guitar lick, a guitar riff, something signature. And Keith Richards is the godfather of that, you know? Immediately, you know it's Keith Richards. Life in the Fast Lane has a signature guitar lick. Life's Been Good, Rocky Mountain Way. They all have a simple thing that is the foundation of it all. That's important. That's what I look for. I look for those simple building blocks that nobody's come up with yet. And it's getting harder and harder to find them because everything sounds like something else, you know? But that's always been my best work, is to find something that people want to drive to. They want to hear it in their car. They sing along with it. Guitar players want to play it. And I've been real lucky to be able to do that. But it's the simplest foundational building block of songwriting, but everything is based on that.
You seem very energized by being in the studio recently and by the new album. Mm-hmm. Do you think you've done your best work?
Not at all. That's another reason I'm still at it. I think it's important that I keep going to take the edge off digital recording and the virtual world. I think it's important that I keep going. I didn't know whether to reinvent for the 21st century. I listened to what's on the radio. I didn't hear a lot that helped me. And I figured, you know, I'm just going to do a Joe Walsh album like I know how to do. And I'm going to do it for the fans that have been with me for the whole ride. And make them happy. And the thing that's left for me now is to work at my craft. Having been rich a couple times, famous a couple times, coming back from as drunk as anybody can get, you know. The thing that's left now is to work at my craft. And I'm healthy and I'm complete and I'm good to go. And I think there's a lot more music in me.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you about the past and the present and the future. Joe Walsh, thanks so much.
You're very welcome.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.
That does it for another edition of Guitar Center Sessions. My thanks to Joe Walsh. I'm Nick Harcourt. Until the next time, thanks for watching.